I wanted to document my thoughts about the PMP exam that I took on Jan 4th, right after the exam, because I had taken the exam last in 2012. So I took the exam because I thought it's been 12 years and I've been teaching PMP all this time, and I wanted to make sure that I'm teaching the right stuff and sort of a challenge for myself. So second time around, I studied about maybe I would say about 16 hours, or maybe less, 10 hours. The drastic difference between the two exams, the one I took in 2012 and the one which I took in 2024, Jan 4th, was, I think in 2012 it was PMBOK 4 or 5 that was prevalent, and now it was PMBOK 7. Half of the questions on the PMP exam, latest one, were about Agile. So a lot of questions on Agile and Scrum and adaptive projects, and half were predictive. A lot of questions on change control, where what's the first thing you'll do? So, go through a proper change control was definitely a major theme. One drastic difference between the exams of the past and the exam on Jan 4th, 2024 was that there was no network diagrams that had to be drawn, no critical path calculations that had to be done. Yeah, there were questions about critical path, a couple of questions on slack and float, but nothing about calculations that they give you a critical path and now you have to figure out, they give you a network diagram and you have to figure out a critical path. What else? Also, there was no questions to calculate earned value management calculations, like they giving you scenarios and saying what's the cost variance, what's the schedule variance. Is there about 6 or 7 questions about having cost variance or schedule variance or CPI or SPI in the language of the question, but then nothing about calculating it. So, you had to sort of figure out that if the CPI is less than 1, it's over budget. If SPI is less than 1, it's, behind schedule, things like that. So the concepts. Other than that, it was a largely simple exam, and I definitely passed. And one thing I want to say, in PMBOK 7, there's a lot of new topics. In the latest PMBOK, right, the PMBOK 7, there were a lot of questions. There were a lot of topics about, for example, change models, right? The ADKAR model, the 8-step John Cotter process for leading change, the Virginia Sater change model, the transition model, the Cinefin framework. I think it's pronounced Kunway or something. I'll look it up. Stacy matrix. So all, I was kind of worried about that would show up a lot in the exam, but they did not show up at all. Other than that, if you read PMBOK 6, you don't need to memorize the tools and techniques, as in you don't need to memorize that the following are the tools and techniques for this, and the following are the inputs for this process, and following are the outputs from this process. I mean, common sense prevails, but you don't have to memorize, questions like all of the following are inputs to collect requirements process except, or questions like which of the following tools and techniques is used in determine budget process. All those questions are gone. I mean, they've been gone for about 2 years now. But yeah, so study PMBOK 6, study PMBOK 7, the Rita Mulcahy book, the Head First book, and you are pretty set. You're pretty set. Awesome.